Joe Flower here. So, a federal judge in Texas has just found the Affordable Care Act to be unconstitutional. What does that really mean? For the moment, nothing. For us as consumers, as buyers of health insurance. But what does it mean for 2019 and beyond? What does it mean for the country? What does it mean for politics? Here are a few things to think about. Federal Judge Reed O'Connor issued no stay. So theoretically, the ACA is null and void all across America instantly. But that's not entirely clear. This will certainly be appealed to the Fifth Circuit, then to the Supreme Court. Yes, there are now 5 conservatives on the court, but remember, in the main case against the ACA, Chief Justice John Roberts definitely sided with preserving it, except for the Medicaid expansion mandate. Meanwhile, the White House has said that the ACA remains the law until the whole appeals process is run. Crucially, AHIP, America's Health Insurance Plans, the Association for Health Insurance Plans across the country, they say the same thing. That Health Insurance Plans of America will continue doing business by the ACA rules until the whole appeals process is run. Nothing changes for 2019. Now, of course, if it comes to that, they would not even be able to do anything differently for 2019. They've already locked that in. And it would be complete chaos even trying to figure out how to plan for 2020. The health insurers of America do not want the ACA to go away. They've gone through a hellacious few years adjusting to the shifts and risk and have just come out the other end to a fairly stable situation with which they can deal. They can survive. They can even make a profit. The legal argument in this case is really very weak. The argument is that the individual mandate and its accompanying tax is the core provision of the entire law. If the tax is zeroed out, as the Republicans managed to do last year, then there is no mandate, and therefore the entire law is unconstitutional because it is no longer a tax law, yet was passed under congressional rules for tax laws. This is a weak argument because there are many other taxes and tax implications in the law, many other provisions that spend or allocate money. There's much more to the act than just the individual mandate. So the fundamental nature of the act has not changed, even though this one tax has been removed. Furthermore, the ACA contains the standard language allowing for severability of provisions. It specifically states that finding any one provision unconstitutional shall not render the whole law unconstitutional. Finally, of course, the president's tweet calling on Congress to, quote, pass a strong law that provides a great health care and protects pre-existing conditions, unquote, is just so much blather and hoo-ha, as that is exactly what the single-party Republican Congress has failed to do all along. Why? Because they got nothing. The Republicans have failed for nearly 10 years to propose any alternative that would actually work to cover all Americans and protect people with pre-existing conditions, let alone cost less, even when they've had control of both houses of Congress and the presidency. If they have one somewhere, they've been keeping it locked in a cell in the basement. But let's imagine that the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, is found unconstitutional by the Supreme Court in these next 2 years. This will mean chaos in the insurance markets, all kinds of hurt to us as consumers, but politically, it will be a great gift to the Democrats. The Republicans will have succeeded in doing something deeply unpopular, taking health care away from tens of millions of Americans, hiking up what it actually costs you and me to get health insurance, destroying the consumer protections built into the ACA. My best guess is that Speaker Pelosi will not simply try to restore the ACA, but will go much farther, fielding a universal health care bill. Congressional Democrats already have 8 different approaches in the hopper, ready for hearings. This will put the congressional Republicans in a true quandary. They know that besides the president, the biggest actual issue powering the blue wave of November 2018 was health care. Do they really want to run smack into 2020 fighting against health care for all of one kind or another?